Okay folks, I'm back down here. So we'll walk down to it again. I was able to talk to the neighbor there and let them know that I was going to be down here working, so if they heard anything or anything, they wouldn't shoot at me or nothing. So I figure I'm trying to get a plan going here. I come down here and looked at it, and it was raining the other day and I really didn't make any plan. So I think what we need to do is plan out how we're going to do this, what we're going to do for a road. I didn't think it was as much of a bottom as what it is. But here's the little road that they had built, supposedly, and I think feeling it under my feet, we're good there. We can hear the wind in that tree. Excuse me. So, all this looks good. This might be a little wet down here, but it don't feel bad. I mean, it's still going to be, like I said, a week or so before I can do anything, but it feels good enough that I don't think my skid steer is going to have any issues. So, we can clean this out really well. I was worried about getting behind it. I think we can push this stuff over and maybe get in behind the foundation over there. No, there's a big tree there. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But I wanted to walk down while I was here and maybe see if I can see the old boiler where he pushed over the hill. Just don't quite remember this as being such a bottom right here, but it is now. And this spring, there must be a spring running out, still feeding all this. You know, worst comes to worst, I got a friend with a big traco, and I mean a big traco, that could come down in here and set this thing out here with no problem. But you know, we got to do what we got to do, so we're going to do with it any way we can. I see they got, want to see what studs. It looks like they got the studs out of the base, where the bolts, the nuts off the base. I just wasn't expecting all this water. Yeah, the nuts are off there. All them nuts are off. We're going to get around to the back side of it and see what it looks like. Okay, folks. Over here on the back side, got some stuff cleaned off of it here. You can see the Bates Machine Company, Joliet, Illinois. Let's see. Okay, everything's off on this side. We got one nut here, and all of them are off around the actual cylinder, and the rod bolts have been taken off. May have to slide this back, yank it out of there. That's the main rod. So this is going to come out in one section from there to there, and then the rest will be there. And it looks like they've got one nut part of the way off and one to go, and I think they've got them both on the other side. And then we got this plate right here. Gonna make sure we get everything unhooked. These are the Corliss valve assembly. It's like a vacuum pod. So this plate underneath this engine's got to go with it. And then as you can see, the height of this is actually higher than the height of that. So it all steps down. We've got to do a blueprint of where these studs are at, and we've got to do a height difference between here and that platform, and here and that platform, and then all the measurements. So kind of rough, but it looks like it's still in good shape. That was one of the good things. The water hasn't hurt it. It may be connected together underneath. You can actually see the boards where you see the, I don't know if you can hear or not, but you can see the grain of the boards from where they poured the concrete, and they used 1x6s or 2x6s to do it. So it's pretty neat. Okay, this would have been a holder for an oiler pretty sure that went up and in the end. So that'll have to come off too. I don't see a lot of the building here. I just see a couple little pieces of small tin, and that's it. So I don't know if they took the building out and took it with them or what. So we've got the exhaust that runs over and up and has a valve on it. And it looks like a weighted valve. And up to the top, so we'll have to get that off. So anyway, we can do it. It's just, like I said, going to be the main thing is being able to reach over to this stuff. I don't think I can do it from this side either. So we're going to have to figure it out, but we will figure it out one way or the other. Okay, folks, it might be worth my time and trouble to have some sand clay, maybe a load of gravel or something brought down here. Back it in as far as we can back it in, put it and take the skid steer and start spreading it in here. I think if we can maybe do a little work over here first to divert this water away from this machine, because it's running straight down that way. So we're fixing to walk around that way because we need to see if I can find that boiler and the steam pump, see if they're even worth dragging out. And if they are, we will. And because I'm setting this up for looks, you know, we don't have to have a working boiler anyway, which, you know, it'd be nice to have a boiler, period. But anyway, I can see, you know, repairs, which I don't mind repairs. A lot of people don't like repairs, but that's an old, is it focusing? That's an old repair right there anyway. That's on the valve rod. The comes up to it and runs up to the Corliss valve. Like I said, the main rod's on the other side. So anyway, a lot of the pieces on the end of the rods, the end of the linkage and stuff is missing because that stuff was brass. And anything brass got stolen off this thing years ago. Okay, the first day that I came looking for this, I found this pipe and part of this tin, and this is why I didn't see the tin over there. It's over here, and the engine is straight through about 20 feet away. And it was raining that day, and I just didn't see it. So it wasn't far from it. Hopefully we don't get bit by no copper-headed rattle moccasins down here. I'm sure there's plenty of them around. Okay, folks, I have located the steam pump. It looks like it's still on concrete. What in the heck? He must have pushed the concrete all over. So this steam pump is still in good shape. I can't see the brand of it, but it does say Made USA. Yep. Okay, what this does for anybody that don't know, I know a lot of you do know, and a lot of you know a lot more about this than I do, but I'm going to explain what I do know. This steam pump, when you've got a boiler pressure, let's say of 150 pounds, you can't just turn the garden hose on and put water in it because it's under pressure. So you need to add water to it. So this is actually a miniature, it's basically a steam engine, 2-cylinder, and then it's 2-cylinder pump. So you've got this end, which would actually, you'd put steam to, and it would run, and it would pump pressure, but it would pump the water pressure higher than the boiler pressure. So it would put water into the boiler. I just don't understand why we can't find a boiler in all this. I'm gonna try to get the brand name off of that. I've had some steam pumps over the years and sold them, but a duplex is usually what, that's a Worthington. Okay, it's a pretty common name, but I think mine was a duplex or something. The one I had before. Yeah, there's a water hole here or something. Yeah, I don't quite understand this. It's like maybe an old cistern style right here in front of me. Under these trees. It's hard to see, but that's exactly what it is. It must have been where they kept water. So maybe the boiler did, the steam pump didn't get moved. It was just the boiler that got moved. The actual guy that was doing the bulldozing is the one that told me he pushed both of them down over the hill when I stopped him. There's some tin. Sure like find the boiler. Okay, so it don't look like I'm gonna find a boiler in this trip. But this is the first mini trip. So we found a steam pump, but we did not find a boiler in this trip. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting things planned out. I think I'm gonna get a load of gravel brought down. There's a hard bottom on this. This stuff don't go down and out of sight. I just gotta get above this water level. And I think I'll just have him bring a load and drop it down here, and we'll just bring it in and put it in around here. That way we can back our truck right up in here. I got my short wrecker, International, I can bring around. It'll handle all this stuff. And I can get right up to it, just backing around this foundation. So I think that is the plan. If we can work this water over that way, I don't mind it running, that ain't no big deal, but we just need to get it opened up over there. Let it run down that side. Stay away from where we're at, but black mud only goes so far, and it's gonna be slick, but it's not gonna be deep, I don't think. So, and then as we go up that way, you know, it gets real solid right there. So that's the plan. All right, let's go load some flywheels, I hope. Okay, so it's not a copper-headed rattle moccasin, but looks like a black racer. See how mad he gets at me. All right, folks, getting loaded up. More. All right, folks, we made it here, and now we're going to try to unload and see how that works out. All right, folks, here's half the flywheel. Put the forklift. So we're picking it up from that distance out. So they're not terrible heavy. They're heavy, don't get me wrong. But I was thinking possibly that this flywheel was 9,000 something pounds, but I don't think it is, because I don't think this thing would pick up that much weight. It's a 5,000 pound forklift, yeah, but distance out is about 3 foot right now, maybe 4 foot. I don't think this forklift will pick up that much without the back end coming up. So I'm thinking that maybe this is a little lighter than that anyway, but I mean, they are solid. That's solid. You figure 19 inches wide and, you know, at least 2.5 inches thick, 3 inches here maybe, or 4 inches. It's big and solid. So we're gonna store this one and the other half, and then we're gonna keep getting the rest of it. All right. Okay, folks, officially got the crankshaft here. I got her unstrapped, getting ready to unload it. Did notice one thing. I thought this was 6 inch, but it's not. It's 7 inch exactly. So 7 inch shaft, 1 foot long, is 131 pounds. And this is 7 foot long. So I think that's 917 pounds. Plus we got to add on for this extra here. So it's easily, it takes it over 1,000 pounds. So we're going to guess and say this crankshaft is 11 to 1,200 pounds, and I would just say 1,200 to be, because we got more here, 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 here. So, and this is a solid pan. So I would definitely say 1,200 pounds is what this crankshaft weighs. We got it. We got our bearing caps. I got the box that George had sent me that intake and exhaust in. We get all these parts in this box and oil everything up. And this, I don't want to clean it yet. What I'm going to do, especially the surfaces, I'm not going to clean it, but I am going to go ahead and grease it. Clean it now, I really don't have a good way of keeping it. So I think the little bit of surface rust that's on it's going to protect it. So, that bushing's actually looks really nice. But anyway, this is one of the rods. This is the front rod, or the forward rod, that goes to the Corliss assembly. And here is our valve rod, the main valve rod, and this one goes to the piece that had the weld in it on the side of the machine. And let's see, that one's in perfect shape. So, don't know. Yeah, and this right here actually runs on the crankshaft. That's the eccentric right there. It runs around the crankshaft to be able to time the valves, and you can turn it on the crank a little bit. And this one is for the rod. I think this is the forward cap for the rod, I believe. And then you got wedges for this, and the wedges are in here. Everything's in here. So far, the only thing I know for sure that we're missing, I think we're missing some of the bigger bolts. I think all these were studs though, I'm pretty sure, but we're missing the flywheel bolts, the main ones, the big ones. And there would have been 4 of them, and I don't know what size they are. We'll go look and see. Okay, here's the flywheels. I got them, you know, here unloaded and here being stored for a little while. 2-inch. So we're missing 2-inch bolts that were probably 16 inches long, maybe 18 inches long. So if we have to, I don't think I'd want to buy them bolts. I may have to make them bolts because them bolts are probably $50 a piece or more. I don't know, we'll have to see. But if I can't find them. They claim they didn't cut anything, so them bolts should be somewhere. But like I said, we was able to get them unloaded here, and we're gonna keep at this thing. Next is gonna be getting the skid steer loader down there and building a decent spot to come down in. And I think I've figured out why the rain is sitting down in there like a lake. Is because all that is concrete. Inside the building was all concrete. There's so much dirt there you can't tell it, but there was, so that may help us out. I think I can go down there and do some pushing with the skid steer and get some stuff straightened out, to where we can get my smallest wrecker in there. And like I said, it'll handle the weight. And these ain't too bad. You know, 4,000 pounds a piece is not terrible. You know, I'm used to dealing with vehicles that are sometimes 8,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds, stuff like that, so it's not that big of an issue. So I'm going to get this thing unloaded and greased up and wrapped up, and then we're going to get everything that we can get in this box. I'm going to raise this box up and screw some 4x4s under it where I can get my forklift under it, and it's going to become a forklift box. And then we're going to get everything at least where the weather won't get to it no more. And you know, some of this Babbitt don't look the best in the world, but we'll see what we can do. And I poured Babbitt before, but you know, we'll just go with it. We'll figure it out as we go. All right, appreciate everybody watching, and stay tuned, because it's gonna get exciting when we get down in there in the mud and you know, start picking up the real pieces. All right, appreciate it. Bye.